I was talking to a homeowner, and they asked me, can there be mold in places that you can't see? And I said, yeah. And we don't have x-ray vision. There can be things inside the wall cavities that you're not going to see. And he said, well, how would you check that out? And I said, well, there's two ways to do it. One is you can drill a small little hole just above your base plate, your footer base plate, and collect an air sample and have it analyzed. So there are ways to deal with this. You can collect a sample out of a wall cavity. That's an accepted method. Or you can build a little chamber and you can open up a wall and take a look, see what's inside a cavity. You can do that. I prefer doing that because you can get mold growth on fiberglass insulation. Most of the time it's cladosporium. If you collect a sample and it's on the insulation, do you feel compelled to open it all up? You're not going to remove the insulation. You're going to go for the mold growth on the OSB board. I was at a conference years ago, and this guy was talking about the importance of building a chamber before you opening anything up, because what's in that cavity is coming out. So his example was there was a master bedroom, and off the side was a bathroom that had a history of water explosions and leaks and stuff. So he collected an air sample in the bedroom, and then he reached down and he pulled the baseboard back, and you could see it was really nasty. And so he said he held it open for about a minute, and then he put it back and waited another 3 minutes, something like that. And he collected another air sample. So the lab results of the first sample was about 1,700 spores per cubic meter, which is pretty average. The second was 167,000. You want to be careful anytime you open and disturb a cavity. So you can determine the presence of mold in cavities, but you just need to do it in a technically safe way to do that. In basements, the biggest problem is in basements, because unless you've really built your basement in a way that prevents moisture from coming through the foundation wall, that's a high probability of having a problem. And we deal with this all the time. The symptoms of that are generally where the drywall sloughs. You actually, after drywall gets wet 3 or 4 times, it begins to lose its cohesion and it will begin to slough and get soft. And you can just put your finger right through it. And then you'll get mold growth just above the baseboard. There's some symptoms to look at there. Then when you open that up, it's going to be really bad. So just be aware of that. You need to build a barrier before you do any kind of opening like that. Bob Bennett, Farsight Management. It's better to use Farsight than hindsight.